I got some feedback that there was some difficulty with these problems, so I wanted to walk through a few of them with you, and hopefully you'll get the idea that these aren't too intimidating. You just have to get the hang of them. Now, we'll start out with the first one here. Suppose that 85% of seniors take the SATs, 23% take the ACTs, and 13% take both. What is the probability that a randomly selected senior, and then we get a bunch of questions here. Now, the key is to create a Venn diagram for the situation, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, now my stylus is working, that's what I'm going to do. You notice I'm making a rectangle. Again, I get this question a lot. Aren't you supposed to start with circles? Key is the rectangle makes a big difference because this is where everything is happening. Then you can do your circles. Which I'm going to do here. Or an oval. Close enough. Alright. So I'm going to have one represent ACTs. One represent the SATs. And as we know, that overlap right here in the middle, this represents both. So I'm going to start with the both. We've got 13 that represent both. Now, if we look here, it says 85% of seniors take the SATs. Now, the key is, that doesn't mean that 85% of seniors only take the SATs. They could take the ACTs too. So that means this whole circle here is going to equal 85. So, I'm going to start with the 85. I'm going to take away this overlap. Those seniors who happen to take the ACTs and the SATs. Take that away, and I get myself 72 right here. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the ACTs. It tells me 23% take the ACTs. Now again, that 23% doesn't represent just the people who took, just the ACTs. That also represents people who took both. So I'm going to take that 13 and take it away from the 23 because that overlap is counted twice. And then I get 10 here. So now I have these probabilities here. 72% of seniors took only the SATs, 13% took both, and 10% took only the ACTs. Now I can add these all up. 72, 13, and 10. And when I do that, I'm going to get 95. If I subtract 95 from 100, that leaves me 5% of seniors who are going to be on the outside here. What that's going to represent is seniors who did not take the SATs or the ACTs. You should expect that. When you add up these circles, they're typically not going to add up to 100 because there's going to be some within this sample space that aren't going to fit into these subgroups. So now they have this filled out, I can answer these questions. So, probability they take a test. Let's see. 72 took only SATs, 13 took both, 10 took the ACTs. So I can just add those up, and I get 95. And it says takes the SAT or ACT, but not both. So I'm not going to deal with the 13 in the middle. I'm going to just deal with the 72 here and the 10 here, which would give me 82. Takes neither? I already answered that. I got my 5 here. Now here's a tough one. Are taking the SATs and the ACTs independent events? Let's see. We can explain this. So let's start with those who took the SATs. We had 72, had 85% of seniors take the SATs. I'll start with the 85. I had 23 take the ACTs. Now, if they're independent, when I multiply these numbers, I should be getting that 13% in the middle. I'm just taking out a calculator so I can do this. I'm very confident that's not going to equal 13%, but nonetheless, I'm going to be safe here. Yep, of course, I get 0.1955. If they were independent events, then multiplying the probability of one times the probability of the other would give me the probability of both happening at the same time. This does not equal 13. So therefore, I can say that these are not independent events. There are other ways I can prove this as well. But I like going this route. I could also go with, let's see, the probability of taking the SATs is 85 out of 100. Now, I could do it given that you took the ACTs, which would be 13 out of 23. Now, let's see. Does 13 out of 23 give me 85%? I highly doubt it. It does not. It gives me about 56. So 0.85 does not equal 0.56. So therefore, I've also proven they're independent. Because if they were independent, then taking the SATs, the proportion would not change based on my subgroup. So I did based on this total, and I did taking the SATs based on the total who took the ACTs. So there you go. I just completed number 1. I'm going to do number 2 in a separate video, but hopefully this gets you started on how to do these problems. When you add these up, don't be surprised if they're going to equal greater than 100%. That means that something's being included twice, because when they tell you something like 85% of seniors take the SATs, they're not saying they only took the SATs. That could mean that some of these took both. That's really important to note here. Hopefully this helps.